This is part 2 of the Draven spinning axe build, where I show you how to paint the spinning axe to the correct colors and color scheme without getting any paint mixed up. So for starters, you're going to want to paint this thing either on a cardboard backdrop like I have, or somewhere you really don't care that you get paint all over. In this case I'm doing both because we mow the lawn a lot. So for this build you're going to need, of course, the Draven spinning axe, some spray paint, specifically silver and red, painter's tape and some scissors to cut it off properly, a mixing tray with black acrylic paint, and a sponge brush. First, you're going to want to remove everything else off your workspace except the red spray paint and the blade itself. Paint over the grooves that we cut in the previous video using the razor pin and the heat gun with the red, and make sure to evenly coat it on both sides. Also notice that I've painted the inner area of the blade because that also stays red. Once that's dry, we move on to the next step, which is taping it off. Once that's done and dried, apply masking tape over the red area for spray painting silver on next. Once you've applied tape over the designated areas, which would be the ones that we cut earlier for the details to keep them red, you'll begin now spray painting it silver. While you're waiting, watch a wasp do the Harlem Shake. Once that's done, you can remove the tape. However, notice that I did not spray around the handle. The reason for this is that will be the area where you put the most acrylic paint on, and if you've ever worked with electrical tape and spray paint, you know that they don't mix, and it's going to mess up your handle and your grip and everything like that. Look at him go. Once that's done, carefully remove the tape so that you have a nice fine finished blade, and it should look like that. Now we're going to take the mixing tray, the acrylic paint, and the sponge brush and paint the rest of the details in, which I will not entirely be showing you how to paint all the different areas in because there's a lot, but I'll show you where all the areas are. This is the finished Draven axe. Areas that I'm going to point out, I'm actually going to walk in front of the camera and point to all the areas that we painted black in this area, which would be here, here, the inside grooves here, these areas, and the handle. Now, one thing to keep in mind, do not paint over the electrical tape on the handle. Leave that be. The tape itself is black, and the piece you're painting around it is also black. Therefore, it works. Another thing, if you're using certain acrylic paints and you paint spray paint over the wood that you're using, the paint will not seep in correctly, and you'll have to redo it by repainting it a few times. Now, one more final step is to actually use my good old friend, the enamel spray paint, and coat the entire thing with it so the paint doesn't crack or chip or really anything bad like that. So I'm going to do that, and then it's going to be completed. He won't leave. He keeps flopping over and dancing and then flopping back over. I don't know what's going on. Look at him go. Look at him go. So, when you're done painting, you'll have this Draven axe. And if you follow the instructions for building it in reverse, you'll have this Draven axe. One's left-handed, one's right-handed. Just keep in mind that the handles are on the inside for turning it, not the outside. If you go on the outside and spin it, you'll hit yourself in basically wherever you hit yourself and mess up. So, this is the first one, this is the second one. There are a few noticeable differences. I did a few things different in each one, mainly on the microphone. And, yeah, these are Draven spinning axes. Completed. I may or may not do a video showcasing how to make a splicer hook, but I know I'm going to be making that later on. And I may or may not make a video showcasing other props either, but that's all in the future. Leave that in the comments on what I should do there. And if I get it in time, then I will, by all means, make a video for it. Again, like, comment, and subscribe if you like this. I don't know, I'm making props all the time, so Just comment what you want me to make, and I can probably get to it eventually. This is Dr. Paul V3 signing out.